Hi friends, welcome back to the Homegrown Kitchen Table. I am Natasha and today is one of those slower, steady homesteading days. The kind where the to-do list is simple, preserve what is fresh, teach a little, cook a lot, and make the most out of what is growing right in front of us. We are blanching and freezing cabbage from the garden, enough to last us through, I would say, the winter, but the truth is the summer and the winter, because we cannot grow cabbage in the summer here. We are in the deep south. And while that's going, I am also homeschooling, labeling freezer bags, and getting dinner ready. We're going to be doing bacon fried cabbage. We're going to be doing a pot roast and roasted baby artichokes and a salad straight from the garden. This is based solely off of what I'm actually doing in the kitchen. It's not staged, it's not pre-planned, it's just real life. What I'm doing here is I'm taking a pot roast that I have, just a big old hunk of meat, and I'm going to put it in my pressure cooker with chicken broth, mostly because I have not canned beef broth recently. I need to do that again. I am mixing in our homemade beef au jus powder into this and some other seasonings, giving it a mix, and I'm going to set this on the counter to basically cook in the Instapot for about an hour and 45 minutes. It sounds like a long time. It's necessary. These are absolutely ginormous pieces of pot roast. We buy our meats in bulk and keep them in the freezer for recipes. It's a really big amount. Now, if you are unaware, we have started memberships on our channel, and I am so enjoying coming up with courses for you guys and helping you to make your own homegrown kitchen table. I'm really loving it. It's been so much fun to get creative in this way. And one of those courses is going to involve an entire set on making things from scratch, your own seasoning blends, your own au jus powders, your own chicken bouillon powders, these things that you can make and have in your kitchen that you can use whenever you wish. Now, side note, I am harvesting small artichokes here from the garden. It's actually not the garden, it's the front of my house, and they are sharp, so do wear gloves because they are pokey. Anyhow, so on our memberships, we're not just doing gardening classes, which there will be, but we're also doing this whole structure around empowering you to create your own homegrown kitchen table. We're going to be doing an entire series on how to recreate the teas that you would buy in the grocery store, herbal teas from scratch in your own kitchen, how to grow them yourself if you wish. We're going to be talking about making your own seasoning blends, growing the herbs that you might need to have those and replace what you have in your spice rack. We're going to be talking about growing your favorite dishes and maximizing your kitchen. It's going to be really fun. It will take a little bit of time to finish them all, but I am actively working on the creative process of that. They're going to have workbooks and it's going to be a whole thing. I'm so excited to be able to offer that to you guys. So if you haven't signed up for memberships, I highly recommend it. There's going to be a lot that goes on with that really soon. So stay tuned. Now, this video in particular was actually shot this spring. Yeah, crazy, right? So I have this hard drive that I do my editing on, and I will shoot a bunch of videos. And because I'm constantly now in this state of mind where it's like, oh, I should film this for them because they might enjoy it. There might be something beneficial for it. But then I'll end up with this backlog of videos and I have to try to prioritize, okay, what is relevant to right now and what do I have time to edit later on? And in this circumstance, I've tried to actively sit down recently and edit things and get them out for you because what is the point of having the videos if I'm not going to provide them for you? And this was kind of the end of spring. And I was needing to harvest the cabbages from the garden because they were starting to bolt. So I got a couple of really decent sized cabbage heads, but I also had several smaller ones. And rather than just let them go to waste because they were small, I pulled them anyways. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to store this cabbage to be able to use. And we're going to go ahead and do that by pulling away any of the worn outer leaves, trimming the base. There's something so satisfying about that sound, that crisp, clean, earthy chop that you get when you cut the base off and you pull the leaves away. And then you can cut your cabbage however you like. So you can do wedges or chunks or even shreds. It's whatever is going to be easiest for you. As you guys know, I am the biggest fan of bacon fried cabbage. I love bacon fried cabbage. I love bacon fried anything. I just think I love bacon. I'm just a bacon fan. And so for me, if I can store all the cabbage that I grew and make bacon fried cabbage as a side dish throughout the summer and winter months, I'm going to do that. It's going to be great. So for me, I went ahead and I chopped them into roughly what I would be using for those dishes. I also think that these freeze really beautiful in a way that allows you to use them in sautés, soups, stir fries. So you have a lot of versatility. It doesn't just have to be bacon fried cabbage, but it can just be bacon fried cabbage if you wish. And of course, you're going to see in the background the kids working nearby. They're working on their penmanship and they're reading. They know that they are always allowed in the kitchen, that mom might have taken over the counters, but they are always a priority. And I like them to see what I'm doing and have the ability to ask questions and be involved, which is why when I'm inside, I'm often doing voiceovers because I have to be able to focus on answering their questions and being the best mom I can be for them. And I also want to do the best job I can providing you guys with information for what I'm doing because it might be beneficial for you. So what I'm doing here is I am laying a cookie sheet out with some parchment paper and I'm blanching the cabbages. So you get large pots full of boiling water, and then you want to also have a strainer and a bowl nearby. Sometimes people will recommend that you take the whatever it is that you're blanching and move it into ice water. I often will skip that step just because we are constantly low on ice in my house because everybody is putting ice in their water all the time. So just, cold water or straight into a strainer. And the goal is pretty simple here. We want to stop the cooking time on the cabbage. We want to lock in the color. We want to lock in the crispness of it all. Each batch only needs about 2 minutes in the hot water, just enough to brighten it up and soften the outer layers. And then you're going to go ahead and put them into a strainer, or like I said, an ice bath. I will let it strain and sit in the strainer for about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to lay it out on the parchment paper. I like to freeze things on cookie sheets and stacks or rows of parchment paper, so that way I can put as many things of whatever it is that I'm freezing in the freezer at once. So I might have several layers between parchment paper of onions or cabbage or whatever it may be. Now I will be rotating through multiple batches of the cabbages because I'm trying to do them all in one go. I don't really want to worry about this later on. I'd like it to just be done today. So because of that, you can see right there one of the kids with the schoolwork and me with the 75 million cabbages. So even though we're answering questions and working through it all, it's our own little version of calm in the chaos. I don't know. I love it. So back to it, you can go ahead and you can freeze several trays at once without them sticking by using the parchment paper and making sure they've drained. And then later it's easy to just grab out what you need and put it into a gallon-sized bag, label it, and then you can, if you wish, just grab a handful for soups or stir fries or whatever it might be that you might need that cabbage for. As these trays kind of chill, before I can really begin the process of moving them into the freezer bags, it's nothing fancy, just a permanent marker and, you know, a Ziploc bag. I do like to make sure that I date things whenever possible, and future me is always quite happy for that little bit of organization when I can remember to do it. Now we're going to go ahead and transition into working on dinner, and we're going to start with our bacon. I'm going to chop this up. Not really. I'm going to cut this bacon in half and I'm going to put this into a large pot or Dutch oven and let this bacon cook down and crisp. I have never had great success with pre-chopping the bacon and cooking it. I always do better with strips and then chopping it afterwards, but you could do it whichever way you would prefer. And then you want to preserve the oil that comes off of the bacon, the fat. You want that for making bacon fried cabbage. It's important. It adds flavor and depth, and sometimes you just need a little bacon fat in your life. While that is cooking on the stove, I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to chop up the vegetables that I have on hand for a salad for dinner. So carrots, I'm going to remove anything that's a little bit tough or woody, and I'm going to slice these up, chop them into pieces. And I have this large container that you can see on the counter. This is for salads. It's like a salad container. Instead of having bagged salads, I have this giant salad container that I'm always refilling with a mix of different vegetables and basically whatever we have that's from the garden at the time with the lettuce. I really miss salad season when the time ends, when it's too hot for the lettuce to grow. I always get really sad. I like to mix our lettuces too. I don't always stick to one variety. I like a soft butterhead lettuce with a crisp romaine and the carrots. And then if you really want to just have kind of a, oh my gosh, I'm even watching myself back here and I'm like, no wonder I am so accident prone. You can totally see my spazziness right here. Anyways, these are the chopped vegetables. I'm going to mix it in here. And if you want to keep it really basic, you could go ahead and do something like olive oil with a squeeze of lemon and a pinch of salt, and it's just exceptional. It's so good. Once your bacon has cooked and you've removed it, you're going to add your cabbage to this. I just took what I had already blanched because I didn't really think about it much. I'm going to top this with some garlic powder. I love garlic powder and onion powder. I put it on almost everything. So garlic powder and onion powder. Our onion powder is green because we use a mix of the onions and the onion tops. And I went ahead and I cooked this in the oven. I just turned the oven on at 350 and I let it hang out in there, pulled it out every so often and tossed it. It worked really, really well. These are our tiny artichokes. I'm going to go ahead and snip anything sharp off of these, and then I will cut the ends off, the stems right there, wrap these in foil and douse them in olive oil, and we're going to roast these in the oven. Our artichoke bushes are kind of young still, and they flirt with that line of, do I continue growing or should I go to flower? Now, if you've never seen an artichoke flower, it's absolutely beautiful, but I like bigger artichokes when possible for cooking. These ones worked just fine though, and everybody loves artichokes. Artichokes are a favorite in our house. These come out of the oven so soft inside and nutty, and they're just like a perfect little splash of something. And they're easier for the kids than these giant artichokes. You know, there's that benefit to it that even though they're not super big, the kids really enjoy them when they're small. It's a little thing that makes them happy. It's like, oh, this is my size. So then we're gonna have dinner essentially. Our house is gonna smell like bacon and garlic and greens, and the freezer is gonna be full. I'll wipe off the counter. That'll be nice and picked up. And then we'll end up having this amazing dish of bacon fried cabbage and roasted artichokes and pot roast with gravy with au jus. And it is so good. I always make a little dipping sauce with this of mayonnaise with lemon juice, and that's my favorite go-to dipping sauce for artichokes. So good. It's days like this that remind me why I love having a homegrown kitchen garden. It's things like chopping and teaching and labeling and preserving. It all kind of comes together in a really beautiful, peaceful way. And I enjoy being able to share this rhythm of our home with you guys. It's what the homegrown kitchen table is all about, slowing down and savoring the life that we are living and enjoying it to the fullest. Thank you so much for spending today with me. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and share if you love our homegrown kitchen garden, our crazy little living over here. I will see you guys next time, right here at the Homegrown Kitchen Table.